Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Good evening. Can you believe I'm live at night? This is Grace here at the Comfy Nest with Grace. Hearts to you. Thanks for being here. I am streaming live on both YouTube and on Facebook to include as many friends as possible, which is nice. I love to be able to do that. I'm live for an event. It's a Crafter's Choice event for the Crafty Bunch. So if you want to catch all of the replays from today's event, the event is not over. There is another crafter creator after me sharing. You can catch everybody in the free Facebook group called The Crafty Bunch. So go check that out there. Well, Annette, you win an award tonight, girl. You're the first person to say hello from YouTube. Hello, hello, Miss Annette. I'm so glad you're here. All right, this is what happened to my husband's jeans today. This is what I had a different plan for today. And then he came out of the bedroom and said, uh-oh, I think these jeans are shot. so, so this I decided to, of course, because I'm such a recycler, it's the heart of a junk journaler, which in fact, these pockets would be perfect for a junk journal. Anyway, we're going to use the jeans. We're not going to throw them out. We're going to use them. So that's what inspired today. Hey there, Nicole. How are you? There's my friend Nicole from Adoria Creations. There's Callie. And there's Miss Chrissy from My Artful Adventures. Hello, hello. Welcome, Monica. I see you over there on YouTube. Thanks for being here. So I've already cut a little bit off of this. We are going to make puffy fabric hearts. I don't know. Are you guys fans of things like this? Whenever I see these at the thrift store, I gobble them up because I think they're so cute. And this one, darling, it has a hanger on it, which awesome because, if you wanted to hang it on a door handle, if you wanted to put it on a gift basket, that makes it so much easier. I grabbed this one too this week at the thrift store. I mean, how cute, right? I love things like this. So in this same realm, we're going to do some fabric hearts. And of course, I'm going to use a little bit of this denim. So I'm wondering, girls, if you can tell me, hey, Missy, good evening. Hello, Trisha. Welcome, welcome. Hey, everybody. What you up to? What you up to? Are you in for the night? Are you chilling out? It's 8:30 here in North Dakota where I live. So it's not too late. It's not too late for a live, I think. But we're gonna have some fun. I just wonder, are you like settled in for the night or what are you up to? I already started because I haven't done this in a long time. In fact, actually, girls, we did something similar to these in the Craft Therapy Club. I don't think it was last year. It might have been the year before. And this was in my Bits and Bobs journal. We made these awesome puffy skeleton, like basket fillers. And we did a few different ones, not just skeletons. And it would have been around this time of year, of course, but this was left over in my Bits and Bob's basket. And I was like, oh my gosh, how crazy am I doing? I'm doing fillers again, basket fillers. And I came across that one. So Craft Therapy Club members, if you made those with me in the Craft Therapy Club, give me a shout out. Hey, Pretty Pieces by Michelle. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Jeanette. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Catherine's here from Ontario. Tomorrow's your Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Have you been cooking all day then? Have you been prepping and cooking all day? Tell me what it's like for you up there in Canada. Okay. All right. So I want to tell you, I grabbed this. Let me see if I can find it. I grabbed this template from a blog. I just Googled stuffed heart template. And this came up, and the woman who shared it, her name is Jan Howell. I'm going to give her blog a shout out because that's where I got it. A lifestyle blog, You Make It Simple by Jan Howell. That's where I got the template. I mean, really, you could probably just go to Google Images and say heart template and you'll get a bunch. But I will tell you something here in a minute. Anyway, I wanted to give Jan a shout out. Thank you, Jan. I think she shared this back in 2019, but it is still on her blog and I am using it today. So Jan, your good work is being made useful. So thank you for that. Now I want to say something. I like really big, I call it heart cleavage. Okay. If you haven't hung out with me before, that may be a new term to you. Heart cleavage, this point right here, right? It's like between the two humps of the heart, that little crevice right there. I call it heart cleavage. I don't know why. I don't know how I came up with that, but I've been calling it that for years, and we always get a chuckle here at the Comfy Nest when it comes to play here on the page or the channel when I'm using the words heart cleavage. Hey, thanks for sprinkling, Jerry. Friend, I appreciate you. Hearts to you. So I started by just cutting out some red fabric on my own. I cut it out and I realized the heart cleavage is way too big. It's a cute heart. That's a cute heart. I mean, someone tried to tell me that's not. That's a cute heart. But I think we will have a lot of trouble with the deep heart cleavage. I think you're going to be better off with a smaller crevice. I don't know what other words to use to describe this. I'm doing my best, girls. I'm going to grab a chair and I'm coming on over. I'm rolling myself over to you. Anyway, I think you're going to do better with a softer, I don't know, heart cleavage. This is really wild and big and I love it, but it's not appropriate for this project. So I started out the old fashioned, take your fabric, pin the template to your fabric. I pinned it with 2 pins. You can see the holes in the end. And then I cut it and it got all wonky on me. I struggle with that a little bit, so I'm going to show you another way to do this. If you've tried the template cut out on your fabric, pinned to it, and then you pick it up and you're trying to cut it, especially when you're trying to cut 2 layers, it can be a little challenging. So I'm going to show you a couple of things. Okay. The way that the way I like doing it better. Hey, Debbie, how are you? There's my friend Trisha. How are you, sweet love? Hello, hello. Catherine says, not me, no cooking. She's a widow for 24 years alone. She's having a TV turkey dinner. Girl, that sounds good. That sounds good. Easy, relaxed. That's all good. You enjoy it. You enjoy every second of it. Okay. I cut a sleeve of a portion of my husband's jeans, the leg, just big enough for the template. Okay. I already did one. I already prepped one. I prefer, rather than pinning this to here and then trying to cut all the layers, what I prefer to do is to use a marker to mark out the heart. So I trace it like I did here. And then I'll show you a couple of things. So let me just do it. I'm going to follow through so you can see just kind of the things that I've learned. This to me is easier than trying to pin it. And I'm using a black marker because I really want to be able to see that line. And I'm going to cut on the line, so hopefully we're not going to see it. Okay, position of your pen matters because when you're the brush tip of my marker, if I'm holding my pen upright and going all the way around, I'm going to get the most accurate heart shape. I came down here, and I don't know if you noticed, but I turned my wrist this way and I started to do this, and it went further away from the paper. So I need to continue with that straight up and down all the way around. Otherwise, you're going to get a wonky heart. Okay, so you do that. I'm trying to cut both layers at the same time. I think it's easier if you have less fabric to handle. I don't need all of this. I don't need to be monkeying around with all that. So I'm going to cut off the excess because that's not going to get used. That's going to make it lighter and easier to handle. Now, when I pick this up and I start cutting, it's floppy, right? So I'm going to start cutting around it. And inevitably for me, the 2 pieces of fabric, they separate in some places, but not in others. And I get 2 hearts that don't exactly match or aren't really that close, which I don't want. I want them to be as close as possible. So I would suggest, hey, Miss Lynn, how are you? I sent you that email to reset your password, friend. I did send it to you, so watch for that. Hey, Tammy, how are you? Tammy says, what's up with talking turkey? Okay, I had to put that comment up on the screen. What's up with talking turkey, friends? Tammy, I love that. I love that comment. Yes, for Catherine, it is Thanksgiving tomorrow. We were talking turkey dinner. Okay, here's what I would suggest. take one of your glue sticks and give yourself a slight tackiness to this. This is the inside of the project. It's going to get stuffed. We're not going to see it. We're not going to need to worry about it. I'm going to give myself a little bit of glue here to hold that all together so that when I'm cutting it, it's not so challenging. I'm going to give it a nice, you know, flatten it out kind of thing. And then I'm going to let that dry for a minute. I'm not going to run my scissors through that yet because the glue is still wet. This one has been sitting for about 20 minutes and I can pull it apart. I'm not going to because the whole point of it is that it sticks together so that when I cut it, they are pretty exact matches, the front and back piece. So then I'm going to come in with my scissors. I'm going to cut on that line to get rid of the black marker. And listen, girls, don't take the joy out of this creative process for yourself by being too hard on yourself. Okay? If your hand goes a little wonky, you just had some caffeine and your hand's a little shaky and your hand goes a little wonky and you know, your heart has a slight little bump in it in some place, it's okay. It's okay. It's what makes it primitive. It's what makes it darling and handmade. And we love handmade. So don't get yourself all worked up. Just relax and enjoy the process. Okay, now, see, they're exactly the same. This first one that I did, they weren't exactly the same. I was trimming and I don't know what I did, but it wasn't good. So I had to remind myself because I've not done this for a long time. Some of the tips and tricks that I'm sharing with you, like using that bit of glue, is going to help keep you straight. Keep you straight. Okay, so here we go. Now I need to separate them, right? So this should be easy to pull them apart. Now, I'm really going for a primitive look. I think I'm going to use these two as backs, and then I'm going to use some of this. I mean, you don't get more primitive than gingham and checkered fabrics. So I'm going to probably use these reds. Like, see how this one has plain stitched fabric on the front and then the red checker on the back. You don't get much more country or primitive than that. So this was my, I did this one with glue, hot glue. I don't prefer hot glue. When we did them in the Craft Therapy Club, when we did the skeletons, the stuffed skeletons, and there were other shapes and designs too, we did use hot glue because almost everybody has access to hot glue. Not everybody has access to a sewing machine. I prefer a sewing machine, and I actually think I'm going to pull my sewing machine up here and do a couple of these with the sewing machine so I can show you that way. But with the hot glue, you literally just run your hot glue and then stick them together. Easy, 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 easy. You need to leave your opening so you can stuff it. So see, I hot glued. I have something so that I like get a pencil or something that you can test all your edges because you got to make sure you don't have any openings other than the one right here so that you can stuff it with it. Okay. I want to sew these though. I'm going to need some more hearts. So let me cut out a couple more. Let's just do it. This is so fun. I'm so excited. I love playing with fabrics. Are you guys fabric crafters? Tell me who loves to play with fabrics. Heart. Yeah, we're making little stuffed hearts, Callie. That's exactly what we're doing. Oh, Jennifer. Jennifer's wishing you a happy Thanksgiving. To all our northern friends, all our Canadian neighbors, to Catherine specifically, happy Thanksgiving. Jennifer, you're so sweet. Hey, Jenny. Hello, my friend. There's Lori and Carrie. You girls are just rolling right in here. Some of you are here from Facebook, like Miss Betty. Betty Jones, welcome, welcome. Missy's here from Facebook. And some of you here from YouTube, you're all welcome. I'm just happy you're here. Thanks for being my friend tonight. Thanks for hanging out with me. Can I tell you, so strange at my house, the strangest thing. Hey there, Janice. How are you, friend? There's my friend Janice at J Will Creations. Look at that. Girl's got her own page going. I love it. And there's my friend Chris Hunter. Chris, I love that you're here. I can't talk and work at the same time, girls. I get so distracted. I love that you're here. I hope your Sparkle retreat, your Sparkle event was so good. It looks like it was amazing. Of course, I wasn't there, but it does look like it's amazing. I have to make sure. This fabric has been in my stash for a long time. I've got to make sure I have this doubled up so that I really do have two pieces here, edge to edge, before we outline and cut. So these will be cute with the red. My marker. And remember, if you're going to keep your wrist up, keep it up. You have to keep it at the same angle because it changes the positioning of your pen tip or your marker tip. And I want to have the same position all the way around that heart. I want it just hugging that paper. I'm tempted when I get to the end, I keep running off of the fabric and onto the paper. I want to do this. It's easier for my wrist if I go like this now, but you're going to get a wonky heart if you do that. So try to keep the tip of your marker, pencil, chalk, whatever you're using, at the same angle as you go around the whole darn kit and caboodle. Is that a word? Did you guys say kit and caboodle? Okay. It's a little, you can't see it as much here. Same thing. I'm still going to come in with my glue and give myself some glue to hold it together. It's just easier. It's just easier for you. So it's not moving around and getting all wonky on you. You don't have to do the whole thing, but just a bit of glue. Well, that got a little sticky. I think it's hot in here. You guys, we're in a freeze warning, and so the heat has been running in our house. So it's a little hot in here. Chris, I'm so glad you're here. I just looked over at the screen and see you. Hello, my sweet friend. I see your comment again. I love it. Hey, Brenda, how are you, friend? Linda's here. A Creative Life with Chris Hunter. I miss you. Oh, I miss you too. Listen, I wish I were there. It's a good thing I didn't go, but I wish I were there. I was just going to tell you guys, it's so weird at my house. Where's that other one? Let's get this one first and let that glue set up for a minute. Both of my children are gone tonight. Landon was home for the weekend from college, but he left this afternoon, went back to college. So I'm still getting used to that child not being under the same roof as me. It's hard, guys. I love you all love your children dearly. I know if you have children, you love them dearly. I love my kids, man. I love being with them. I love hanging out with them. Chris Hunter, I know you love hanging out with your kids too. So you get it, right? So I'm getting used to Landon being away. Well, Gannon is also gone tonight. He went to a DECA conference for an overnight. Our house is so quiet. It's so weird. It's so weird for it to be just me and my husband. It's not a bad thing. It's just like, okay, this is so strange. Okay, now I can still pull it apart easily. Even though I did put that glue in there. You can still pull it apart and do what you got to with it, okay? So it just makes it easier. Now remember what I said. You're going to try to cut this. You're going to pick it up and try to cut it, and you have all this weight sitting here. Is going to make it really hard on you. So you are better off to just cut off the portion of fabric that you need and work with that alone. That way you get all of this put aside and it's just not troubling you at all. That's a lot easier to manage and handle than all of that other stuff hanging off the edge of it. You guys, for me, the view on my screen on StreamYard is really choppy. Is the broadcast real choppy for you? Oh, Linda, you just Linda, why is that? Linda said the video is real choppy. Girl, what's going on? Is it choppy for everybody? I'm going to check something really quick on my phone. Hello, Melissa here. Oh, yeah, it's choppy for you too. I just changed a setting on my phone. Let's see if this is better. I hate that it's choppy for you. I'm so sorry. Girls, that's not what I want for you. I want, as Tina Turner would say, simply the best. Don't make me sing. I translate everything in the world into song, but I should really just do that in my head. I should not subject my friends to my singing. I subject my family to it, and they say, Mom, please don't sing. I have a terrible voice, but I do love music. I love to sing. Something funky's going on here. See, it's separated. I didn't get enough glue over there. It's separated. I need to really be close here and make sure I got both pieces. I don't need these to be uber perfect because that's just not how I create. I feel like that takes all of the fun out of it for me. Close enough is good. Close enough is good. That's why it was funky. It's where the fabric was folded, so it has that little fold. Now, if you were a really thorough crafter, you would have ironed that first. I'm not that girl. Girls, I'm not that girl. Oh, I think it's better. Is it better? It comes from your heart. Oh, good, Debbie. She says it's better. Catherine, I hope it's good for you too. She says she's watching her iPad. Oh, good. It had to do with the connection. All right, good. Okay, see how easy that is? There's still a little glue. Oh, it's still wet even. It's still wet. Still a little glue, but that's okay. That's okay. Now, I think I'm going to do denim background on both of these with the, isn't that cute? Cute combination. You can do any combination you have, whatever fabric you have, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what kind of fabric you have. If you have an old dish towel that you thought had a really cute check on it or pattern, and you're ready to get rid of it because there's a little hole in some area, you use it up. Make yourself some little stuffed hearts that you can, put around your house in a basket or in a little vignette, but with a candle and whatever home decor you like. Oh, good, Catherine. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad we got that worked out. Okay, now, if you're using your hot glue gun, you are simply going to put the hot glue on the inside section, on the inside pieces like I showed you here. You put the hot glue on the bad side, the back side, because you want the pretty side showing. So I'm not going to use the hot glue gun. I think you could also use Fabri-Tac. So I'm going to test one of these with Fabri-Tac, and then I'm going to do my sewing machine with the other. Now, when you use a sewing, well, I can tell you this while I'm putting this glue on. I want to see if this is going to work, if the Fabri-Tac will work, because it's really good if you can walk away and say, well, I don't have a hot glue gun, but I do have some fabric glue, or I have a machine and I really want to know how to do it with a machine. I'm going to try to show you all of the ways. Got to get the glue out though. If you have a machine, I think most project videos are going to tell you the traditional way to sew. If you're stuffing something, the traditional way to sew things together is to put the pretty sides together and sew it, and then leave a hole in it and flip it. Do you know what I mean by that? How many of you sew? Do you know what I mean by that? You're going to flip it inside out. Okay, you can actually see the glue because it looks really wet on that fabric. You can see it. I just put it on the top. Now, bad sides together. We're doing bad and bad because we're not going to flip this inside out. I'm going to turn it upside down so I can reach it better. I've got that fold. Lazy Grace, I didn't, naughty girl, I didn't iron it before I went in on the project because I like things to be really simple. I don't want it to be stressful. I want it to be simple and fun. Okay, we're pushing, tapping, letting that glue set. Okay, I'm testing the Fabri-Tac to see if it works. This is going to be a report to you tonight. Can you just use Fabri-Tac? Probably. You can use hot glue. Oh, I got Fabri-Tac all over the table. Girls, that'll never do. That stuff is sticky. Okay, you need to leave an opening because that's where we're going to stuff the stuffing. Okay, don't leave your opening on the point. That would be a very vulnerable place to leave your opening. So you're going to glue your point down. Leave your opening. Do you see how I did it here? On the side, the point is glued together. You don't want to be messing with that point as the last thing that you glue together. Trust me. Trust me, friend. I will not steer you wrong. Guys, I think I need to go get my fan. Goodness sake. The heat's running because we're in a freeze event. Jerry sews all the time. It's quicker for me than using glue. Me too, Jerry. I'm showing everybody multiple ways because, Jerry, I'm assuming that some of our friends don't have sewing machines. Okay, you need to leave a little opening. I see some women, when they do stuff like this, they leave the tiniest little, daintiest little opening. And I'm like, girl, my fat fingers can't work with that. I can't do it. I need a big old opening. I see some ladies and their opening is like this big. And I'm like, how are you getting all that stuffing in there? I leave a nice big wide opening. You do you. You do whatever makes sense for you. You do what works for you. I'm going to show you basically how to do it. I should have a big opening right there, see? And look at, they're not matching up. I'll fix that later. I don't know what I did wrong because it's matching up on that side. Something went wrong right there, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll deal with it. We will contend with it. Okay, that is Fabri-Tac. It seems to be working. You are gluing on the back side of your fabric. This fabric, it is very hard, if not impossible, to tell. They don't look any different. Denim fabric, you can really tell the difference. It's really dark on the outside and it's lighter on the inside. Okay, but you're gluing, in this instance, when you're using a glue, you're going to glue the back sides together because you want your pretty sides out. If you are going on a machine, you have two options. You can put your pretty sides together, sew and leave your little opening, and then flip. You flip it inside out so that you don't show any seams. I don't like to do it that way because this is a primitive project. I want my stitches to be seen. I want it to look stitched and I want it to be frayed up. Like I love these frayed edges so much. So if I sew this and I don't flip it inside itself, that means all of these edges are out in the open, and every time this is handled, these are going to fray a little bit more and it's going to look more like this, which I really love. So I am going to sew it with the back sides together. Although I know if a lot of you sew, that's probably opposite with what most people who sew would do. Oh, Carol, I'm sorry to hear that. You blanket stitch them together, Catherine. Oh, good. You guys share in the comments when you make yours. Do you make these regularly? What shapes do you do? Because Easter bunnies for Easter time. Hearts can be for, I think hearts year round, but for Valentine's Day too. Of course, at Christmas, you could make bells. In the fall, you can make acorns or pumpkins. What other shapes? What other shapes do you guys make? And take a little drink there. I'm going to grab my machine and we're going to sew this one. And then we're going to start stuffing. We're going to start stuffing. Here comes the big one. I just got this machine and I'm so happy with it. I know this isn't the best angle for you. I could try to do this and get you at a different angle. It's just going to be a minute. I'm going to stitch around. And you guys who sew, you're probably thinking, Grace, pin your fabric together. That's what a real trained sewing person would do. Oh, good gravy. I'll go get my pins. I'm a lazy girl. I don't usually do this stuff. I do it as easy and simple as possible. So here's my pins. So technically, so that your fabrics aren't shifting around on you and going all wonky, I gotta check something here. I think that's a little bit of glue for my glue. Yeah, it is. So this is my outside. I'm putting outsides out, the back sides in. That is opposite what many sewers would tell you to do. Crafters who sew, I mean, what do I say there? How do I categorize that? I don't know. It will not shift. I'm the lazy girl, so I don't normally do this part, especially for such a tiny project where you're pinning together your heart. But if you want to make sure that your fabric isn't shifting as you're running through the machine, it is a really smart idea to pin in a couple of spots like that. I just took a pin and pinned. Now, when I go in my machine and I start stitching, as it gets close to the pin, I'm going to pull the pin out. I don't like pinning. I think it's tedious. I like quick and easy. I could do 3 to make sure it's really in good shape. You got to make sure your pins, though, aren't coming near where your needle on your machine is going to run through. You don't want those interacting with one another. That would not be good. Okay, I pinned it. I was a good girl. I pinned it. Does that make anybody happy? Lori, what do you sew for all of the holidays? What shapes? Do you make these puffy things? Michelle, I hope I fixed it for you. I hope I fixed it. Jerry's been making gingerbread, people. Jerry, I want to see. Anybody else want to see her gingerbreads? Listen, girl, share it in the Crafty Bunch. That's where this event is taking place, inside the Crafty Bunch. Share your gingerbread, people. Anybody who are making little fabric puffy things or fabric projects, please share them. Share them in my free group, the Crafty Chicks Club. We want to see. We would love to. Jenny says no. Me too. I hate pinning. Jenny, girl, you and me, we're going to be best friends. We are anti-pinning. The anti-pinning collaboration. Oh, Linda's making stockings. You are so ahead of the game, girl. Linda loves slow stitching. Get it, girl. You do you. I love it. Chris is making trees for Christmas. Are you already doing Christmas, Chris? I'm not, girls. I'm not that girl. Oh, Lord, Lord. I'm just putting my Halloween stuff out. That's me. All right. Let me just do a little stitching. It's not going to take long. It's a little project. It's a little project. It won't take long. Remember, you do not want to leave open. Don't do your heart cleavage. You want to close that up now. And don't do your point. You want to leave your opening somewhere on the side. It will make your life a lot easier. So I'm going to start stitching up here, and I'm going to come around, and then I'm going to skip a few, and then I'm going to come around and finish. Okay. Well, you can start anywhere you want, but I want to start where I can reach these pins and pull them out easily. So I'm going to start, I guess, at the heart cleavage, and then I'll come around. You guys know I call it heart cleavage, right? I'm going to try. I'm not going to do quite. First of all, let me say this. I am not a good sewing machine girl. I'm just not good at it. I better get a straight stitch. I got that. I'm just checking all my settings here. I'm not good at this. I'm going to take my time because I've got to turn the fabric while I'm turning the fabric while I'm paying attention to where the stitch is. And I'm trying to give myself a 1/4 inch seam allowance, but we'll just say about a 1/4 inch. So see how slow my machine's moving? I'm not going to go too quick here because it'll mess me up. I'm guiding it with my hand. Now I'm on a straightaway. I'm on the straightaway. I got to fix my fabric here. I want my edges to be ratty. That's what I want. Okay, now I'm going to pull this pin out, put it in there because I'm at that point. I like to leave a big opening. I do not leave, I leave like a 2.5, 3 inch opening. A lot of people do a much smaller opening. So I'm going to stitch. I'm going to pick up my needle. I'm going to pick up my fabric. I'm going to move it down the line here. See what I'm doing? I'm pulling it out. Stopped my stitching there. And then I'm going to come in and pick up a few inches down the line. Oh, that feels like it's going to be wonky. I don't know why. It just feels like it's going to be wonky. Okay, I better pull this out. This can come out because I'm done with this side. And this one, I know it's hard to see, girls. Just bear with me. Those of you who have sewing machines know the basic stitching, so I'm not worried about you. I guess I wanted to show you more about not flipping it inside out. I'm going to go all the way around. This is going to be wonky. I am not a straight stitcher. It's just not me. Don't be disappointed. I'm giving you fair warning. I'm giving you fair warning. You're going to go, girl, this girl is not very good at this. I'm not, but I don't care because I'm having fun making things. And I want them to be, I love chippy, I love rustic, I love wonky things. I don't want perfect manufactured things. All right, here we go. We're at the end. I'm done. All right. Let's pull this out of here and I'm going to show you what I did. Sorry that angle is awful. Oops, I did not cut all my strings. Hold on, girls. Cannot get rid of this yet. I'll have to come back to that eventually. Okay. Where's my little pointer? My stitch, I did dark stitching, so it's a dark black thread. Comes around. It is not the same distance. I do not, this is why I stopped quilting, because I can't handle that kind of precision. As long as it's grabbing both pieces of fabric and it's coming along the edges. Now here's where my opening is. And I left it big so that I could stuff. And here's where I skipped all those stitches. I have, it's probably hard for you to see, because see all those extra black stitches? I'm going to cut them off. That's where I pulled it out and skipped a bunch of spots so I could have that opening for stuffing. Now, most people who sew at this point, they would have put their bad sides, or no, their good sides together. And then they would use this and they would flip this inside out. I don't do that because I want these edges to get really raggedy and very rustic. Okay, see here? That is not a big deal. You know, if it bugs you, just come in and trim it down. It's not a big deal. See how we fix things? If you have one of them sticking out further and it's really obvious and it's bugging you, just fix it. Just cut it off. It's not a big deal. It's all good. Okay, let's stuff them. Oh, should I decorate them first or stuff them first? Because I want to decorate these. This one's really plain. This is the first like sample one that I did with the hot glue. I do not love using hot glue. And in fact, you can feel like the bumpiness because the hot glue kind of bubbles. It doesn't lay flat. This is the one with the liquid Fabri-Tac, the Fabri-Tac fabric glue. That one's nice and flat, but it's still drying, so it takes more time. And then this is the sewn one. So we have the 3 options here. Okay. All right, let's check the comments. Hey, Judy, how are you? Thanks for saying hello to everybody. Yes, Linda. Linda wants to know if I've ever painted. Yes, painting fabric is a blast. I have a beautiful piece of painted fabric right here, actually, that was in my bits and bobs basket. And it is. It's like kind of stiff and crinkly. Yeah. This is an old tea towel that just was getting too ratty to be in my kitchen anymore. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to let that go to waste. So I brought it in here and painted it. And I've used it for covers on junk journals in the past. And this is one of the leftover pieces. I love painting fabric. I think it's so fun. I'm glad you do too, Linda. Oh, Melissa says heart cleavage. The heart cleavage. I know. I don't know what else to call that. Hey, Brenda. Happy Sunday, friend. Welcome, welcome. Chris is still doing Halloween, but she's prepping for Christmas. Good job. Good job. No ruffles. No, we're doing simple. These are super, we're going for super primitive here is what we're going for. Okay, so here's what I came up with as an idea for decorating it. I already did one. Where is it? Friend, where did you go? Oh, I know. I put it in my fabric drawer. Okay, here's my thought. Look at this. Check it out. Check it out, friends. I want them super primitive. So I took 3 pieces of fabric. I've got a red with, they almost look like little crosses, almost look like little snowflakes. I'm not sure what they are. Red with little white or tan snowflakes. I have this like, it looks like a Scottish kilt. It's like an olive green with red stripes. And then I have this little white piece or like creamy piece of fabric bit that was just a leftover. And I stamped on there the word joy, and then I put a bulb pin and a little wooden bead. And my idea is that we would just pin this on to our little heart when it's all stuffed. So let's get some stuffing. I have this sitting here, and I also have a big bag. I'm going to show you the big bag. This is what you're looking for. It comes in different, you can buy cotton, you can buy natural fabrics. This is a polyester. I got this at the thrift store for 99 cents, girls. I did good on this one. Create a Craft. You can buy big ones, you can buy little ones, but it's just this stuffy, cottony like filler, and you're gonna stuff it in there. We're gonna stuff it in. That's why I like a big opening, because my hands can't handle the little, I get too impatient, girls. You may need, depending on the size of your project, You may need like the end of a pencil. They do make tools for this, but girls, an end of a pencil works just fine. I mean, if you go into the sewing section, you can buy these little stuffing tools. We're not all about spending extra money where we don't need to. Just use your fingers, use a pencil, the end of a marker, it doesn't matter. Get that thing stuffed in there. How stuffed do you stuff it? Answer that question in the comments. How stuffy do you get, girls? Do you overstuff or do you like them like a little more limp? I don't know. Do you like limp hearts and stuffy stuffs? Or do you like them super plump? I think you're going to know what I'm going to say to this because look what I'm doing. I keep adding more. Keep adding more. I like it. I like it plump. All right. The challenge, once you get it all plumped up, is getting this closed. If you're using hot glue, you literally just put a bead of hot glue and you're going to press it in. Be super careful if you're using a high temp. Invest in a silicone tool like this. You can get it at the Dollar Tree. I think they come in a 2-pack. So you're going to put it down on the table, put your hot glue, and then use the silicone tool to press it down. A little more difficult to be accurate that way, but you will save your fingers, or wear the little finger protectors. If you're going to use your Fabri-Tac, it's the same exact process. You're just going to need to hold it for a hot minute or a cool minute. You're going to need to hold it for a minute or clip it until it dries. Oh my gosh, so cute. I got to make sure that my heart bumps, my heart boobs are nice and plump. We're plumping up the boobs, girls. I don't want to get in trouble on social media for using anatomy words, but I got a lumpy heart and it makes my heart happy. Okay, where's the other one? Here it is. This is the sewn one. You don't overstuff, Linda. I go so plump. Lori doesn't like any puckers, so she stuffs them as full as possible. You and me, girl. my heart boobs. My heart boobs. Chris, we gotta stuff them. Gotta stuff them. Gotta stuff those girls. Get them all filled in there. If your hole, like the little opening that you left for yourself, is small, you're gonna need a little helper to get in there because it's just hard to. And you don't want to pull it apart. You just glued it together or sewed it together. You certainly don't want to pull it apart. But it's pretty easy. Oh my gosh, you guys, Nyla's coming on pretty quick here. The next person up is Nyla Hart. This is an event called Crafter's Choice for the Crafty Bunch. Crafty Bunch is a free group. So if you don't belong to the Crafty Bunch, there are events running all of the time that are really fun. Some of them are themed. Tonight is Crafter's Choice. So you probably saw a whole lot. If those of you who've been watching, give me a shout out. If you were presenting today in the event, give me a shout out. I am one of the last, but I'm not the last. Nyla's coming up here in a couple of minutes. So if you want to catch her easily, if you don't know where her business page is, just go into the Crafty Bunch to find her. And you'll also find all of the replays there. Oh my gosh, how cute are these, you guys? How cute are these? So my idea with this little, it's just itty bitty bits of fabric. I layered 3 different colors, red, green, and then like a basic canvas. And I stamped on there the word joy. And then I used a bulb pin and a wood bead. Now I don't even want it glued. I kind of want it tasseled on there because then it would be loose and I like the movement of it. So that's where the bulb pin comes in. You could glue. Originally I planned on gluing it down, but I kind of like the idea of it just. Now I'll run my machine. Where's this one is glued, so we're going to glue this one. The other one I'm going to run through the machine and do those last few stitches. So now we got it all stuffed up. We got to get our glue coming down. Thanks for the hearts, Jenny, and thanks to anybody who's sharing this out there. If you don't mind, please share it out there. It helps so much for us to meet new people and just, spread the word that we're creating. I would say we're creating things to inspire people, but we're also sharing love and friendship. A lot of people need it. A lot of people need some love and friendship in their life, in all stages of life. So if you had any fun tonight hanging out with me, I got some. My Fabri-Tac has a beard now. That's funny. I cracked myself up, girls. All right, be ready to get gluey fingers. It's gonna happen. I got some Oozy Fabri-Tac coming out of here. Have your little baby wipes handy to suck up that glue. That needs to stick, and it's gonna wanna keep popping open. So you're gonna need to clip it, or you're gonna need to hold it until it's in good shape. Hot glue, you will not need to hold it. If you use hot glue, you're gonna put it down, you're gonna stick it, and it's gonna be stuck. With Fabri-Tac, you're gonna need to hold it. Fabri-Tac is a wet glue. You can see the markings there, but that will dry clear. You can see it dried clear all the way around the other edges. That's why it's a fabric glue. That's the benefit of the fabric glue. Okay, I think that's sticking pretty good. So I should be able to, oh my gosh, how cute with the little bead. Cute little stuffers. For, you know, you can put them in a basket. You can put them on like on a shelf next to a little fall framed picture of your grandkids in their costumes, or your kids when they were little. I wish my kids still dressed up, but they don't. They're beyond that now. All right, let me run this through here. This will take just a minute. Where's my presser foot? My uh-oh. Uh-oh. I lost my thread. I wasn't a good sewer. Hold on, girls. I lost my thread. Come on. We got a jam. We got a jam. We got a jam in the house. All right, we're going to cut it loose. Cut her loose and get the jam out. There we go. It's because I didn't hold my strings. You're going to hold these while you're sewing that first couple of stitches. You need that tension to be real good, and I didn't. So that's what you get when you try to cut the corners. Where do I have both of them or just one? I cannot see a thing. You think you can't see? I can't see either, girls. Come on, I know you want to. All right, she's not going to play nice. What time is it? Yep, it's 9:15. All right, I will take pictures. This is what you're getting, regardless of if you use hot glue, Fabri-Tac, your sewing machine. They're still cute, cute little shapes, and they don't have to be hearts. You can use whatever shape you want. All right, girls, I have a napkin giveaway going on. Use the link in the description of the video to put your hat in the put your name in the hat to win a napkin bundle. It's a fall napkin bundle. I'm also throwing that link in the comments for you guys. Go join Nyla in the Crafty Bunch. Thank you for being here. I love you all. Good night.